So
where will Juan go? Who knows? Maybe Juan will go play in Japan.
Well, he's been in California for a while now.
I know. Did he move here because the taxes are too high? You need to come back to Florida.
He's definitely not going to sign there in my mind, but the Dodgers are going to meet with him because if you're his representation, you're going to meet with all the big boys. So Alden Gonzalez said that they're meeting. Mark Feinsand reported it first, and Alden said, yes, it'd be absurd of them to follow $1 billion offseason with a $600 million contract, but Ohtani's first year in LA blew away all their financial projections, and they need an outfielder.
Kratz is thinking Phillies.
For the podcast crowd, Kratz is taking a drink out of a Phillies cup.
Here's the thing for me. If they can get him to sign an Ohtani-type deal for $2 million... No. Sure, Juan. Welcome to LA, brother.
There's a better chance of, I don't know, just pick anything than him taking an Ohtani $2 million.
Of us doing this segment tomorrow?
No, we're definitely doing it. I would do this 7 days a week if he took a $2 million a year. There's no chance he's doing that. But really, what is the percentage chance the Dodgers are signing Juan Soto in your mind?
Under 10.
Under 10. I think even that's aggressive. I was going to say maybe 2%, maybe. That they're going to, can they beat everyone? Sure. But is it likely? No. Also, I remember I was looking, Michael Kay, I think it was in the past 24 hours, was talking about Baerga throwing that, what was it, 16,660 or something like that. And Kay, during his commentary, basically said he heard that Steve Cohen's just like, yeah, I'm going to go 50 mil over everyone. Like, here's the number. All right, so 610's your number. We're 660. It's not like, and this is what I always say, you want to get a player, I mean, you don't necessarily have to do that every time, but if you're the owner and you want the guy bad enough, you're just like, yo, I'm going 50 over everyone.
That's Steve Cohen.
That's a mic drop. If money is the top priority.
But Scott Boras, I'm using that against him, though.
Why? Because you're trying to get
I'd be like, oh, the Yankees offered 700. Steve Cohen's like, 750. You're like, you idiot. Yes, we'll take that. No one else is over 400.
But you have to, if you're bluffing, and the bluff gets called, then it's a big problem, right? If you call and you say 700 and the Yanks don't actually have 700, it's a problem.
Yeah.
So there's been fibs before. Who was the one that I loved the most? Well, there's been a bunch, but Greinke, when did you ever read that story? I talked about it once on this show before. They called Greinke super last minute-ish. They were like, hey, do we still have a chance? We decided we're back in on him. And they threw out some number. Greinke's best offer at the time was like 150, right? And they were like, 185, do we have a chance? And they were like, I don't know. And then they call back, they're like, fine, 210. And it's like, dude was at 150. He got an extra $60 million.
Well, I mean, the Mariners and Cano, right, were bidding against themselves forever. And I think Boras played, didn't he have Boras too? He played that. No, he had Rock Nation.
He was Rock Nation. Chris Davis
is another one.
One suitor. That was legit. One suitor.
And they're still paying that contract.
Yeah.
Jason Worth.
It's a fun game.
Jason Worth had $77 million on the table, and he got 140 from the Nets, 120 from the Nets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that was an overpay to
They had to.
The Nets had to do that. And listen, they won a World Series because of that. So, listen, that contract, I mean, yeah.
It's all about the market.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of those Tiger guys back when the day when Boras was getting them all to go to Illich. Where there's a lot of them that were like, I don't know if I was going to get that much, but we fooled them. But then I've also heard of some guys that got caught.
Yeah.
And some guys that have gotten caught trying to play that game too. So
you say, hey, I got a better offer. And they say, okay, well, this was the best we can do. We're going to move on. And then, oops, you didn't have a better offer. So that happens. By the way, Jason Worth was just on the Philly show. So part of the FT network. If you want to check that show out on YouTube or wherever you get your pods, give it a listen if you're a Phillies fan. And then, let's show Brooksgate putting up the money spent in free agency since 2020. So from 2020 up until, I'm guessing, this offseason, where it really hasn't started yet. The Dodgers are at $159 billion. Do we know if that's present day value, though? I don't know the answer to that. You know what I'm saying? Because Ohtani's contract's really $450.
Let's go to the bottom. Let's just, everyone knows these five teams.
Yeah, who cares?
Let's go down to like 30.
Okay, let's do it. You want to know
remember, everybody out there, $1.5 billion is the number the Dodgers have spent. Now let's go to 30.
The worst team since 2020, I think it's a shocker that they're this much lower than every other bottom feeder. So checking in on, according to this list on Brooksgate, at $57.9 million spent, is the Baltimore Orioles.
I
That is
tell you
about
one will
20
not
million
go.
less.
One will not go to the Pirates, the Sacramento A's, the Rays, the Guardians, or the Orioles.
Yeah.
And you throw the Marlins in there too.
Where, so
The
tomorrow
White Sox aren't on that list, though, are they? They're in the middle.
we might have to do an animation
Somewhere
tomorrow.
in the middle.
Where won't Juan go?
Yeah, let's change it. Where would one not go? We have a better chance at that one.
And basically the answer is all of these teams are not in the running. The only team on this list that some people have thought could be involved was the Mariners, but I made sure that I reminded everyone that they were not in on others that they should have been in on.
You know
They're
what the most
definitely not
surprising
going to win the
number
bid.
in that? You know what honestly the most surprising team in that whole list is? The Cardinals at 20.
Cardinals.
Because they're a big market. I know St. Louis isn't a huge market, but they have all of like that whole Midwest area, right?
Mm-hmm.
From like it's almost like from Dallas north, they get Illinois, Iowa, Indiana, Missouri.
Sure.
They get like that kind of that whole big area.
I'm going to
that have
protect
grown
them a
up
little bit.
as Cardinal fans.
Yeah. Okay. So should they spend more? No doubt. Right. But this is a free agent list. Paul Goldschmidt was an extension. Nolan Arenado was a trade acquisition. Those are big contracts. So I'm not saying they're where they should be, but I'd have to look.
This is just free agent.
This is just free agent.
So like
This
when
is
they
not
re-signed
payroll.
Arenado, or
That
they took
didn't
on
count.
Arenado, they re-signed Goldschmidt. These are not considered in this number.
No.
But this is just. But still, you'd think the Cardinals would go out and get someone.
Well, not this year. They're taking a step back.
Well, I know not this year, but I'm saying the last 4 years, you would have thought they would have gone out and really spent on somebody.
Like I'm going off Spot Track, right? Some people like that for 2024, and they were 12. That's not terrible. Like the teams ahead of them are teams that should be ahead of them. Boston, San Francisco, Toronto, Cubs, Braves, Dodgers, Philly. Like they're actually right there in terms of the rankings. So I get what you're saying, but I think they're close, Kratz. What do you think?
My question is, because everyone talks about salary cap. We have a soft cap. Without an actual salary cap, then when you have a salary cap, would all these teams then spend it? Or would they have to sell because they couldn't spend? Like we have to find somewhere in between there. And like the Brewers are on that list, but they spent 200 some, 180 on Yelich. That was just an extension. So teams that are on that list have made big moves, but to me, the Orioles can't be on that list. The bottom team there is below the Rays. And I've said it before, I know the Rays have made significant offers to other players. I get it. They didn't do it. They didn't go high enough to get somebody to come and play there. But like the Orioles, come on. Let's go.
Of course. And to add to that, Kratz, they don't have any extensions, right? So when I'm talking about the Cardinals, I'm like, hey, Goldie, Arenado, whatever. They haven't locked up any of their young dudes yet. That's got to happen to at least one or two. Like we all know who the guy is that they need to heavily invest in. It was more of a debate. Now it's not.
It's Gunnar.
It's Gunnar Henderson.
But you should also try to lock up Adley. I'm sorry.
Sure. But
Gunnar it's definitely
is the guy.
Gunnar.
Yes,
100%.
Gunner's the guy. And also, I'll help them out a little bit here. This is their first real offseason in the new era of Baltimore Orioles baseball. Now, you need to make a statement right away. So if we get through this offseason and it was not pretty for them, then we can just hammer them. But before this time period, this was an owner who was displaying ultimate ineptitude and who was trying to sell the team, right? John Angelos. This is a new ownership group. And that's everything. They are, as we remind everyone almost every day, they are the sole decision makers. They get advice, right? But they are the sole decision maker on transactions like this. Ultimately, it comes down to how much they want to invest in the team and if they decide to invest in certain players. So Michael Elias will give recommendations. Hey, I think we should go after Burns and try and re-sign him, or hey, let's try and keep Santander, et cetera, or not. But it's going to come down to the new ownership group. So we'll see what they do. Do you guys think they're going to make people feel happy enough this offseason with what they do or not?
No.
You think no? You think it's going to be disappointing?
Nope.
I don't think Mike Elias has that in him. I think he needs an ownership group that has to be like, I mean, not like Steve Cohen, but more like hands-on, like, hey, who are we going to go get? If they just say, Mike, you've done a great job of building this roster, building this team, here we go, we're excited to watch him, then I don't know that he has that in him. I think anybody can spend money, but I don't think he can spend his prospect capital because he spent so long building up his savings account with all these prospects. And he's just like, well, what if this person doesn't pan out and we get rid of this person and they pan out? Like, I think he's going to need.
Think about the Japanese marketing they get. They're going to pay $2.5 million for him to get him, and he makes whatever. They don't even care. It's not even about that. It's about how much they can make between those three off the field. And they're going to make so much money. It's going to be crazy.
We were talking about it a lot. It was cool, but then it was going to go away just based on the financial hit his OG team, the Marines out in Japan, was going to take by letting him post. But here we are on the weekend, classic MLB news hit. It's like 2:30 in the morning on late Friday night or early Saturday morning, whatever you want to technically call it. ROKI SASAKI is reportedly coming to Major League Baseball during one of these posting system processes before the 2025 season. Might be in the next couple weeks, might not be until January, where teams have a little bit more money for their bonuses that they hand out. But either way, he's going to receive single-digit millions, most likely, on a bonus to come over and be a minor league free agent and sign with an MLB ball club. There are tons of videos and segments that we've done in the past week, and we're going to do many more this week to document the story, talk about his stuff. We did a little segment with Lance Brostowski last week. We got a lot more, so you can look it up on our YouTube channel. But let's start here. So AJ, ROKI SASAKI, who perhaps has the best pure talent of any pitcher on earth, this tweet from Bob Nightingale, saying that he's officially going to be posted. Not posted yet, but will be posted soon. And he said 30 teams will try to sign him. 30 teams also believe he's going to sign with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Your thoughts?
I mean, best pure talent of any pitcher on earth, that's a big statement. I mean, there's a lot of guys with a lot of pure talent on earth. So, yeah, that's one thing in that tweet that I disagree with, but yeah, he's talented as all hell. His velo was down 2 miles an hour though this year, so that should scare like every team away except for the Dodgers. But I mean, it seems like a foregone conclusion he's going to sign with the Dodgers. I don't love that. I hope there's more of a bidding war and a sweepstakes for this guy because I want to see where he could end up and what he could do. But I think this guy's uber talented. I think this guy has a chance to be special in Major League Baseball, and let's see what happens.
I want to see a presentation war. Because there's not really going to be a bidding war because, one, the Dodgers would win that if that was possible. Two, it's really capped with whatever, it's going to max out whatever they're allowed with their international pool bonus. But I want to see these presentations. What are you going to do if you're not the Dodgers to get ROKI SASAKI to come to play for your team? Because he's signing a minor league deal. What they have to sell him on the next 6 years with that organization.
I want to also present the differences here. Yoshinobu Yamamoto came to the States last year as a free agent, signing for about $325 million with a posting fee at about $51 million. So it cost the Dodgers about $376 million. This guy is going to cost a team like 10 between what he gets and the posting fee.
But why did Yamamoto get $300 million? And
it's all about age.
So it's all about how old you are?
Yes, you have to be 25, and Sasaki's 23. So if you come over here when you're 25 plus, you're a free agent, a normal major league free agent. Right now, this guy's a minor league free agent at 23 years old. So the bidding war is severely capped, severely limited, which in theory opens this up to all teams. But in actuality, I actually think it hurts the free agent situation. Because think about it. Now, if you're a Japanese player, there are some teams that are favored. In this particular window of baseball right now, you have Ohtani and Yamamoto on the same team coming off a World Series championship. They're not the only players that are coming over from Japan, but I also think the old days of a player wanting to be on his own team from Japan and not be with Japanese teammates are over for the most case. I think this next generation actually likes the fact that he can go play with the legends in Japan right now. Darvish fits that bill too. And we had a good conversation in the chat on Fair Territory when Alana Rizzo was talking to Kyle Glazer. And that's also a really, really well worth your time show to watch later on about Sasaki and getting posted. And here's JJ Cooper talking about how you can also get an extra first round pick if he ends up as a rookie of the year. But anyway, Kratz, to me, you've seen tons of reports from insiders already thinking that he's kind of got it in his head that he wants to go to LA. He's a huge Darvish fan growing up. I think they're friends. People have seen him wear a Padres jersey. So for me, I still weight it as like 90-something% Dodgers, maybe a point or two to the Padres, and just about nothing to the rest of the field. This dude is signing most likely on the West Coast with one of the heavy hitters, and it's hard to not see him signing with Japan's team. Like, the Dodgers are Japan's team. Clear cut. I mean, there's players right now who have been interviewed in the past week who said all you see are Dodgers hats and Dodgers shirts now. Yankees shirts, Yankees hats, that's all gone. Everything is about Ohtani, and then Yamamoto, of course, to a side degree, in Japan. So why wouldn't this guy want to join a potential, quote, super team? Even if they're not winning the World Series every year, it's a super team of Japanese superstars.
Yeah, he's comfortable. He already has people that are there. And to me, we don't know what his desire is. We're just reading reports. We're hearing this stuff. And all I can attest to is Tanaka. When Masahiro Tanaka came to play in the big leagues, he only wanted to play for the Yankees. That's why when he was done, I've said it tons of times on here, he didn't sign with anybody else. The Yankees did not make him an offer. He did not want to play for any other Major League Baseball team. He felt like he could still go back to play in Japan, and that's what he ended up doing. So unless there is some desire for him to be a Cub with the lefty with the
Imanaga?
Cubs. Oh, thank you. Unless he has a connection with Imanaga somehow, or he has a connection somewhere else, I agree with you. I don't see how he doesn't sign with the Dodgers. And if I'm taking the easy money, he's going to sign on the West Coast somewhere. Seattle, the Padres, or the Dodgers are my easy top three. I don't even think it's close.
I mean, if you really want to impress me, sign with the Pirates, the Rockies, the White Sox, team like that. Let's go. Let's see how good
he doesn't want to impress you. He doesn't care.
Oh, he doesn't. He just wants to go out there and be on an already proven winner with the rest of them. I mean,
yeah, but think about it. It's
Cubs, he's got Imanaga and Suzuki. Say a Suzuki already. So, I mean,
Suzuki's there too.
Does he care about that, or does he care about winning? Also, does he care about arm care? Because this is a guy who I think it was like a high school or some type of championship game through almost 200 pitches, which is insane. Okay. I mean, I know we don't like it when everyone's capped at like 95 pitches, but that's insane. He's already had some arm trouble. I mean, he's had arm/shoulder issue this past year. He hasn't pitched a ton yet. He's 23 years old. Even though the Dodgers have 1 million pitcher injuries in the past few years, they also are most likely going to go with a 6-man rotation. Yamamoto was an every 6-day guy already. So they can just say, listen, we are an auto 6-man rotation. We're never going to push you too much. And you're going to be in basically a traditional Japanese rotation versus an American rotation. I think Kyle Glazer put it really well on the previous show, Kratz. He said it used to be where Japanese players have to adjust to MLB, and now you have the teams recruiting at their best saying, we'll adjust to you. We'll make sure that you're on the right schedule. The Mets did this also with Kodai Senga, but that's going to...
Yeah, I got to ask you this, because you were in the big leagues at 23 years old. What would you have wanted to go to? Would you have wanted to go somewhere where you could make your mark and be the guy who builds this organization up? Not necessarily thinking of Pirates, but another organization where you're the absolute bona fide ace. Or would you rather go somewhere where you got a shot in the next 6 years of winning 2 World Series?
I'd tell you where I would go if I was a free agent. I'd go wherever the hell the best chance was to get paid and to win. That's it. I want to go where I can get paid and win. That's what it was about.
Well, he can't get paid, so he can't get paid.
He can get paid in marketing money. And where is his best shot at marketing money? With the guys who are getting paid a ton in marketing already. In my mind, okay, I'll give you some conspiracy theory action. I think he has an understanding that if he signs with the Dodgers, in addition to all of the other luxuries, there are brands in Japan that already spend millions of dollars on the Dodgers, on Ohtani, on Yamamoto, that will throw him in. It's almost like NIL collective kind of situation where they're like, oh, we pay Ohtani $5 million for a day to do this commercial. We'll do the same to you, and I know that the money means a lot more to him because he's not making crazy, stupid money until whatever it is, several years from now.
How much did I tell you all that Ohtani made for the Dodgers?
For the Dodgers, 120 million. You said the
I
other day.
actually now was given more facts, and it was more than that. So that was an understatement by me. So I apologize. But still, I mean, you throw Yamamoto and you throw Sasaki on there. I mean, did you guys see the ratings for the Japanese media telecast for the World Series when Yamamoto pitched? It was crazy.
More than half the country.
Yeah, it was like 9 a.m. there. Everyone was watching. Now you throw Sasaki in there for the Dodgers. Think about the Japanese marketing they get. They're going to pay $2.5 million for him to get him, and he makes whatever. They don't even care. It's not even about that. It's about how much they can make between those three off the field, and they're going to make so much money. It's going to be crazy. But also, I look at the Padres. I think the Padres are there because of Darvish influence. Do I think he'll go there? No, but do I think the Dodgers are the favorite? Absolutely. But I'd love for him to pull a surprise and be like, I'm going to the White Sox. It'd be awesome. Go White Sox.
I mean, do you guys think that there's more than a 10% chance he signs anywhere else? Like, how are you weighing the field at this moment? And this is nothing. I mean, people that watch our show, we've seen plenty of comments. You guys favor the Yankees. You guys favor the Dodgers. We favor and disfavor everybody all day, every day. But in reality, I'm just going off what I'm reading and people I've spoken to in the last few weeks. And they're all like, how is he not a Dodger? Right. And those were the same people, Kratz, who said to me, how is he not a Dodger about Yamamoto? And I said, well, if the Mets or Yanks offer more money. And they're like, well, they can match the money. So they were like, yes, if the Mets offer $50 million more, then Yamamoto will sign there. Maybe, he goes, but otherwise he's a Dodger. So in this case, it's even simpler because anyone can sign ROKI SASAKI. He's not going to cost that much for a while. So you start to think about other things. Do you see any case here where the field has a chance?
The only way is if some team presents him with this like formula to not get hurt. And you sit there and not that they're going to slam the Dodgers, but well, that organization, if you go there, they have this many pitching injuries. We have a formula, but I mean, you're talking about, pipe dream fantasy stuff.
Yeah, I don't see it. I mean, hoping to hear from someone this week who can tell us otherwise, because I'm with you, AJ. I don't care. I don't have a horse in the fight. In fact, I could even make a case that it would be better if he signs with another team. If we're rooting for the sport and we're rooting for cool matchups, it would be fun if he ends up signing with another team. And that could include the Padres.
Sasaki versus Yamamoto, Sasaki versus Darvish. I mean, whoever.
That'd be sick.
I mean, maybe he signs with Arizona and he's like, oh, look, 13 times a year we get Sasaki versus Darvish.
Maybe if he's competitive like that and he wants to be at the top. That's where the Padres have the second best chance in my mind, is you get Darvish back into his career. You get to hang with him every day. Maybe he helps to mentor you as well into becoming a star in America, which he is right now in Japan. And he goes, hey, you want to kick the crap out of the Dodgers and have your own legacy with a team that does care and does try and, spends plenty of money and all of that. So we'll see what happens. But that's where, to me, like, Seattle's going to have a tougher case where they used to dominate with that marketplace. I mean, they have not put consistent winning teams together. They actually do have a good rotation, but they also publicly tell everyone how they can't spend that much money.